Hi everyone, it's Bethany. Welcome back. In this video, I am going to play around with this really pretty new cover plate from Simon Says Stamp. It's called Super Sunflower, and they kindly sent this over to me as part of their new release for me to create with. I think this is really neat. So what I'm going to do is get inspired with this. Let's create a fun little card, and I think I have an idea, but as always, we'll just see where this takes us. To begin, what I think I will do is simply place this on an A2 size panel here, and let's just cut this out. And I really want to see, first of all, how this cuts, and also see, the textures that it gives. And then I was thinking about bringing in some fun color. Okay, so I have that right in my Platinum 6, kind of at an angle there. Let's go ahead and cut that out. Okay, I'm going to take a peek and make sure that we did get a good cut. I think we did. I might actually run it through one more time. I think it might, well, actually, let's just double check, because it's easy to place it back into position. Oh, I think it does need just a little bit more right up there. Okay, no worries. I'm going to, what I'll do is just place that back in. You can kind of feel where it kind of locks into place. And let me run that through. Make sure that I put that, let's see, I think I did that way. So I want to place it just a little bit different this time. Okay, I think we got all of it trimmed out that time. So just kind of gently push that out. I love a good cover plate. I think they are so fun. Oh, this is so neat. I feel like there's so many things we could do here. Okay, I'm gonna delicately just make sure I don't rip anything, because, oh, this will be kind of delicate. There's a lot of empty space. Okay, I have it all removed, and it is delicate, but isn't that neat? I think this is so fun. Okay, I'm gonna bring in a couple ink colors, and what I want to do is do some ink blending on a panel here, and I am thinking, well, you'll see. Okay, I'm thinking of potentially doing a little shaker card, and I'm inspired with this shaker mix, so I kind of pulled the colors out of this mix, and I thought it would be really fun to create a really fun blended panel. And I said really fun like 13 times. 13 times in there, but this should be really fun, right? So they say. Okay, I'm gonna make sure that my brushes are nice and clean, and then let's just start playing. I'm gonna start with Pink Lemonade, and let's see, which way do I want my card to go? Well, I usually do a top folding card, so let's just stick with that. Ooh, this could be so pretty. Okay, let's just get started with color. And let me bring the sequins in as some inspiration here. Okay, that way we kind of know where we're going. And I'm wondering if I want to maybe bring in, ooh, hold on. Okay, so I think that's good for my Pink Lemonade, right? I think that looks really, really nice. But what if I brought in some lighter pink here? And then I'm thinking of going, dark pink, light yellow, yellow. Let's just see how that could look. Okay, let me bring this in. Ballet Slipper takes a lot of convincing. It doesn't want to play right away. It takes a lot. Ooh, this is pretty. I actually would just be happy with these two colors, honestly. which could be super pretty, just doing kind of a pink and then allowing the yellow to come in with the sequins. That's an option. Let's see what the original idea looks like, and then if it totally looks awful, then we kind of have a backup idea for what we want to do. It's always nice to have options. Okay, so I like that. Those colors kind of transition well from one to the next. Okay, let's bring in, so these two are done. Let's do, we're gonna do sunflower first, just because I kind of like to go from the edge out, just kind of how I like to work. I feel like sunflower is it kind of a heavy color? I can't remember. Ooh, it is. Got a little blotchy there. I wonder if one of my, ooh, this is gonna be neat. Oh, you're not gonna really notice that much. We'll put this on the bottom so that the sequins kind of falls, falls towards the boopsie. Okay. I don't know that have I used sunflower yet? It's hard to remember which ones, so now I'll know for next time. That one comes in pretty bold right away. And just a tad more. Okay, that's fun. Let me wipe this off and do Buttercup. I'm hoping, well, let's make sure that's really light. I really want this one to be really light, kind of like that. Oh yeah. Well, I did tap off a bunch, but I want it to mimic that light pink, right? Because I don't want to merge them too much to make orange. I really just want them to kind of, I don't know, meet really nice there without too much blending together. I don't know, I think that's kind of fun. I might deepen, believe it or not. Let's transition that a little bit. I might deepen, I like that, my ballet slipper just a hair. And because I'm gonna have an overlay with my sunflowers, I am not too worried about like this being uber perfect, because once you put your overlay over it, any little imperfections and transitions for this card, they're not going to really, oh, that's really neat. I think that could be super fun. Should we do that? I think that's fun. Let's just do it. So, do something different. I'm going to clean all this up, and let's think about how we're going to do the shaker part. Okay, bringing a little bit of rubbing alcohol in just to clean my mat up. And looking at this border that's really thin. Now I do have really thin foam tape, but I'm just wondering if I feel like being that precise. And I'm kind of not. So I'm gonna take the easier route and grab, I'll show you. This is a shaker cover, and I'll link these down below. These are really neat. There's a protective film, I believe, maybe just on this side. Let me grab my tweezers. But this is going to allow me, what I'll do is simply glue my sunflowers to the front, but I won't have to worry about all the foam tape because this is going to be my enclosure. So what I'll do before I do anything is I'm going to go around, fold in all of my little sides, okay? And then the next thing I'm going to do is bring my panel in that I just created, okay? I'm gonna set this in here. This is A2 size. So again, we have that 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I'm gonna set it right in there so that when we turn it around, it's gonna look like this, right? Okay, so that's in there. And let's see. Yeah, okay. Yep. Just wanted to make sure I was even. Now I'm going to one by one remove the adhesive from each side and place it down. Okay, so I'll do that side. Let's do the bottom. And of course, I need to leave the top open because then I need to place my little fill in, and that would be my sequins in this case. Now you could fill this with anything if you want to do sprinkles, or if you wanted to create your own fill by doing, ooh, isn't that neat? So now you have your little pocket here for your shaker. You could make your own shaker fill as well if you did it out of paper too. Okay, so now let me take some of this because we don't want to waste a single drop of it. Okay, placing that all right back in there. I was going to add the sequins, but I'm going to hold off for a second because I want to keep this as flat as I can to do the sunflowers. So I'm just going to tack this down really quickly because I want to place this over the top. Isn't that neat? So I am going to use some liquid glue here. I'm going to go all the way around the edge, trying not to do too much glue because we don't want it to seep out and then make our acetate or, you know, our little window to be goopy and smudgy. So let's do the whole surrounding area. And then I'll just come in and make sure I get these big areas as well. Right? Maybe a little dab on each little petal. Make sure I get the big areas pretty well. Okay. You know, when I was thinking through this card, I was actually going to bring some color to the actual flowers. And I love that, you know, sometimes you just look at something in your craft room and you think, wait, maybe I want to bring ink pads in, or let's see what sequins is in the drawer. So I say this because sometimes we, in our head, sit down with something in mind, and then, oh my goodness, this is going to be a little crazy. And then, you know, don't forget to allow yourself to just pause and look around for a second. Okay, I'm going to go kind of from the bottom to the top. I'm going to be gentle here. I'll lay that down. Okay, and then shift it into position. Ooh, that actually isn't as intimidating as I thought. What I'll do is get them all placed, okay? So I like how that looks, right? Then I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to, I'm gonna place some heavy stuff on it. So I'm gonna place, it's kind of almost like a brick this thing is, my tape dispenser. There we go. Isn't that neat? Oh, I'm really proud of that. I think that looks really nice. Okay, so let's add, I'm gonna add the shaker bits. So again, I left this part open, and now I can add my little filling here. And I wanna add, ooh, that is fun. I wanna add just enough. Oh, I think that's really neat. Okay, I think that's plenty. So, I turn that over. And because it's all filled, everything that we need inside is inside, I can go ahead and close this. Okay, here we go. So then, there's our little shaker card. Isn't that pretty? Oh, it's so glittery and fun. I love that. And where was the oops? I think it was down here. See, you're never gonna notice it. I like the white flowers. I think the contrast is super pretty and super fun. And I like those colors blended together. I'll list them down below as well as everything else that I used so far to bring this together. All right, let's think about a sentiment. Okay, I went back and forth a few times on what to do for a sentiment, and I have this really pretty hello die. So I actually got a 5th color to use, and this cardstock is grapefruit. So different than the colors that we used to do our ink blending, but I really honestly think that it works really well together. So that's what I'm going to use. And I really wanted to bring a little bit of color into the sentiment just because all of our flowers are all white. So I actually have layered this a total of 3 times. So I cut out 3. And then, so I put this on here and it's cute, right? The color looks great, but I feel like we're losing it a little bit. So I did cut out a shadow layer, and I originally didn't want to do the shadow layer because I didn't want to take away from all of these flowers. So I was thinking of doing this, but then I felt like it was covering up too much. And honestly, I think if we place this right in the middle, I don't usually do a center sentiment like this, but I'm really digging that. I think that is super cute. So what I'm going to do is grab some tweezers, and I am going to use this shadow layer, and I think it's just going to give it just enough contrast, and I think the placement doesn't distract from those flowers. Yes, it covers up one, but you know, I think it's still really pretty. Looks good. One little kind of, there we go. Okay. Ooh, I think that looks really nice. So let me shift that over just a little bit. Okay, so let me add a little bit of blue here. I'll add it all over, and then again, I think right in the center is really fun. We still get so many flowers. Plus we still get all that fun color. Okay, I like that. So make sure, I might bring the T-square ruler and just double check. Place that down. And just to bring in a little bit more, I also have this little script U, which I think would be so fun to kind of layer right on there. Hello you, and I think I'll add that. Again, I cut this out 3 times. I had this as part of another die. I think it says You Are My Sunshine, if I believe right. I'll place both of these dies down below. That way you can add them to your collection if you'd like, or recreate this look. But I kind of liked the idea of kind of layering this, and I think I will do something like that. I think that's really fun. Brings a lot of visual interest to it. Okay, there we go. Okay, there is the final card. I think that is super fun. I love the colors. It just is so summery and vibrant and fun, but I think it's really, really catchy. And the sequins inside is just, I've been holding onto that forever, and I feel like this was the perfect little card to use it. So again, everything that I used will be linked down below. Be sure to give this a thumbs up if you did enjoy watching, and I can't wait to create with you in the next video.